All right, good morning and welcome. Commissioner Malt, would you lead us in the pledge, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Smith, will you open in prayer?
Heavenly Father, we come to you once again, thanking you for the day that you've given us, thanking you for all that you do for us. We ask that you would guide us now as we make decisions to do the business for the county. Lord, we ask that you point us in the direction we need to go in so that we would make those right decisions to do the best thing for the people of Scioto County. Thank you, Lord, for this opportunity. Watch over us, guide us, keep us. We ask these things in your precious name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, gentlemen. And it is April 30th. Hey, Mr. Ship. Well, I'll jump into approving the minutes of April 23rd.
I'll make a motion we approve those minutes.
I'll second.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of request for appropriation of funds,
Any comments or questions on item 2?
I make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of request for appropriation, transfer of funds,
Any comments or questions on our transfer funds?
I make a motion we approve the transfer of funds.
I'll second.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of approving payment of the regular schedule of accounts for various funds, moral obligations, and then and now certificates in the total amount of $1,247,266.01.
Any comments or questions on the docket? Hearing none?
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of accepting miscellaneous report,
Any comments or questions on our miscellaneous report?
I'll make a motion we accept those reports.
I'll second.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of communication from the Portsmouth Municipal Court regarding electronic monitoring house arrest invoice February 2026.
It's communication dated 4/20 from Casey Boone, Clerk of Court, regarding our electronic monitoring for house arrest invoices February 2026 in the amount of $9,236.50 with a total of 637 days at $14.50 per day and $140 in program costs being paid for by the defendants. That leaves a total of $9,096.50 owed by the county. I think it's about $1,000 less than what we typically see, so that's good news. But any comments or questions?
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of notice to proceed for the New Boston Village Millbrook Park pickleball courts regarding CDBG.
All right, this is our notice to proceed. This is CDBG grant funding we've been talking about due to community revitalization. It's $750,000 total, but this is specific to the Millbrook Park pickleball courts dated April 17th, 2026, on or before April 30th of 2026, to the contractor Tennis Technologies, with the work being completed within 103 consecutive calendar days and the date of completion of all the work to be August 31st, 2026. So this is a notice to proceed to Tennis Technology to get some pickleball courts there. Once again, the community revitalization grant is not, it's not the county picking and choosing what the village wanted, but rather there was a lot of outreach that happened through our grant writers and our consultants to see what the village would request and then see if it could fit into this funding mechanism. So this is an aspect of that project. Any comments or questions?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of resolution authorizing participation in the winter contract awarded in 2025 for road salt regarding Scioto County engineer.
This is just authorizing the engineer to participate in the ODOT salt contracts. They get a better price should we enter into this agreement due to quantity purchasing. So any comments or questions?
No. I'll make the motion to adopt.
I'll second.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye.
In the matter of Title 20 County Profile Approval regarding JFS,
Any comments or questions on item 9? This is the Title 10 County Profile Approval, which identifies the social services to be provided during the next 2 years, 2027 through 2028. It is estimated total expenditures and unduplicated number of persons to be served with at least one service directed at each of the 5 national program goals.
I think you said Title 10 and it's Title 20. Is
Oh,
that
sorry, there's 2 X's. I failed Roman numerals in high school.
correct? We'll
Thank
work
you
on
for that correction. Title 20.
I make a motion we approve.
Second.
Mr. Smith,
Aye.
Mr. Malt, Mr. Powell.
Aye, and that was for a total of $334, $334,540. Okay, sorry.
In the matter of repair order for the labor and material for the installation of new GAL control board regarding the courthouse elevator.
If you've been in the courthouse lately, you notice we've been having elevator issues. This one is not as expensive as we've seen in the past. This is a repair order for labor, materials, and installations of a new GAL control board for the courthouse elevator. Total amount $6,492.66.
I make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Mr. Malt,
Aye.
Mr. Smith,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Aye.
In the matter of authorizing the clerk to advertise the notice to bidders for 2026 countywide paving regarding the engineer.
All right, this is authorizing our clerk to advertise and accept sealed bid proposals for our 2026 countywide paving projects that the county engineer puts out. The bid opening will be May 28th at 10 a.m. here in our office. Any comments or questions?
I think we kind of went over that and discussed that last week, I think, that how the program works, how they get the grants and partner with the townships and the city and villages. And so this is basically, we're approving the bids to go out for that, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, I'll make a motion we approve.
I will second.
Mr. Smith,
Aye.
Mr. Malt,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Hi. And gentlemen, I'm going to apologize. Our treasurer's in the office today, and we need to take action to update a list for the land bank tear down project. We had some additional funding, and he has an updated list of projects to submit to ensure that we receive our entirety of the grant funding, and that has to take action today, correct? Because we have a deadline by? Tomorrow. All right. So he has the list. We've worked through that through the land bank. It's actually a land bank project, but the county has to sign off on that. So any comments or questions?
I make a motion we approve the list for the land bank.
Thank you.
I will second.
Mr. Smith,
Aye.
Mr. Malt,
Aye.
Mr. Powell.
Hi. Thank you for that. It's shorter agenda today. We'll entertain any questions, items on agenda. Mr. Shope?
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen. Let's go to item number 7, please. Just for clarification's sake, the Commissioners Board just acts as more or less a pass-through for the CDBG funds to go towards different projects.
It's a little more complicated than that. So this is county funds that we have access to partner with different entities based on LMI. So that's the low income index. And we identified New Boston during the last cycle as a target area to partner with. So we approached New Boston saying, hey, we potentially could go after $750,000. Are you guys interested? And of course, they said yes, which we appreciate the partnership. But outside of that, it's truly that specific project is driven by the citizens. So it's not even driven by council there. There was a lot of outreach that happened through surveys. I know our consultants were going to basketball games asking, hey, what do you want to see in the community if we can get this funding? And then they try to put together the strongest application they can. It's not guaranteed we'll win it, and we won it for New Boston. So it was at the direction of the commissioners to point our consultants in that direction. So the money does entirely flow through here. We're now, the next cycle opens up And we're looking at what other areas we could be potentially looking at. The CDBG grant money is tied specifically to income. So we said, okay, can we do something? Franklin Furnace qualifies, some of the smaller villages qualify. And when you're going for this money to make it a more competitive bid, you almost have to show that more people are impacted. So we're kind of working through that with the consultants and Mary Oakley, and she's been fantastic. But that specific one, we approached New Boston to see if they were willing to kind of walk through this process with us.
Okay, I think you answered my follow-up question.
Okay.
The totality of the money awarded by the CDBG grants to New Boston was $750.
Just for community revitalization, we also had a $500,000 critical infrastructure grant that we had go to New Boston. That was to help with their pump stations. We bid that out and awarded that to, I want to say West End Electric. That was in the past couple weeks or so. So even though it's CDBG grant money, they have very specific buckets of money and how you have to go through it. So it's a different process. We've used that funding also for, if you remember what we did out in Otway with the retaining wall and the drainage project out there. We've been able to use CDBG grant money for Raritan Daily Bread to help with their building and the build out and construction there. That was recently awarded within the past couple months as well. So we say CDBG, but there's truly like 6 or 7 funding streams and very specific programs tied to each of those streams.
And Bill, this what we've got here is stuff that has already been awarded basically, and we're moving through it, but they're working, it's almost a continuous thing. They're working on trying to find other areas now, and we've met with them on some of the other areas and some of the things. As a matter of fact, I think that they've got some things ready that they're probably going to bring to us and say, hey, we'd like to consider these projects. As a matter of fact, we had, was it 2 meetings ago, we had some people in here that's kind of presented their projects they'd like to see done, and they're working on that. So that's a continuing process. It's not just, okay, this one's done. They're constantly looking for more grant money, and it's like anything else. We're trying to find money to do the best we can for the people of Scioto County.
Yeah, some of the CDBG grant money, depending on the program, we can apply for every other year. Some of it's every year. The Golden Bears at Shawnee Strait's a great example of that. We get direct allocation that we can kind of point. That's not like it's guaranteed CDBG grant money, and we've been funding the Golden Bears there at Shawnee State, $50,000 a year. And that's why that program's able to exist for anybody 55 and older. They can go down and take part in the activities there at Shawnee. They do a lot of good stuff with the sports, but you have access to kind of the pool and the athletics, and they do a lot of programming. And I see you're smiling. Have you?
I'm a Golden Bear.
Thank you for.
The Golden Bears.
I'm glad you're taking advantage of it.
Yeah.
You probably just made the cut, though, right?
No.
Yeah.
I bolted over that bar a long time ago. All right. Well, thanks for the follow-up. And again, the reason I ask is for a big of a project is what CDBG is. There's always a lot of conjecture, and people don't understand how that flows. So I just want to offer that up. So
No, and I appreciate that, Bill. And some of the funding streams that we hadn't even gone for, like the community revi, is the first time we've ever gone for that because it is very competitive, and so that's the first time we've went for that funding and we got it. So that was encouraging that our consultants are very in tune with this project and really what requires to have a competitive package to go forward.
okay, great. Thank you. I had a question on item number 8 on the agenda, please, involving
ODOT
salt
salt.
contracts. Is the city of Portsmouth a component or part of that contract, or do they contract out to use some of the county's salt reserves like that?
You're going to ask me something I'm not sure, Bill. I would.
They can't all be bunnies.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to guess that they would have their own resolution authorizing the city to participate in the ODOT salt. I don't think the city buys directly from the county. We can get that answer, but this is us specifically working with the state. I would guess that they would have to do the same as a separate entity, political subdivision.
Okay.
But I don't know.
All right. And then off agenda, I did a story about Purdue Pharma's settlement earlier this week, and it was a pretty sizable closure, even to the point where Purdue Pharma is going to be dissolved. Noah Pharma is going to be the new name of whatever iteration they have of that now. Does this change anything to do with the county's settlement issues with opioid makers at all?
So specific to Purdue Pharma, we opted into that settlement with the One Ohio Foundation, knowing that they were probably going to go bankrupt and knowing that if there was any funding, it would still kind of go through the One Ohio formula of so much money to the local, so much money to the region, so much money to the state. It doesn't sound like there's going to be that much money specifically coming from the Purdue Pharma part of that equation. We still have the outstanding lawsuits standing for the big three, which is Cardinal, AmerisourceBergen, and Johnson & Johnson. We've settled with the other ones, but the big three is the one that's kind of still, we're waiting to hear what the court system is going to do on that one.
All right, that's it for me. Thank you guys very much.
Thanks so much.
Thanks, Bill.
Any other questions, items on or off agenda?
My questions are pertaining to the IT contract for the county. When I requested public information and what I was looking for and what I compared the public information from the bid to the actual contract was considerably different. So the key facts were we had 4 bids that were publicly opened. The public was told there'd be an IT committee and an expert reviewing the bids. The public request for records that I did not come with any clear score sheets, rankings, or even a comparison of all 4 bidders, only 2. The original public bid request appears very broad, and the final approved contract doesn't compare to that at all. I know the board publicly stated a goal of reducing surprise extra charges, expenses, overages, and improve on budgeting, which I think is fantastic. The final contract appears, though, that since it does not cover or doesn't appear to cover the full scope that was advertised, including extra overtime for emergency services and so on, what are those final charges going to be? So I guess the taxpayer questions that I would have would be, how was the winning company chosen, since the public information records that I received did not show that. It showed an opinion on 2 companies, but didn't show anything on all 4. So therefore, it looks like we're all the bidders treated fairly. It sure doesn't look like it. Why does the final contract appear different from the original requests? And I have a copy of this I'll give you and submit to you for your review.
Okay.
And what future costs may still be added later? And is the county really getting full coverage IT services across the board? So the comparison I did was comparing the equipment I know to be here in the county buildings. I think there's either 7 or 9 that's serviced through IT. And there was right around 250 computers. I know in the final contract it said it covered 33 with 11 laptops. I also know there's around 30 layer 3 switches throughout the county, and the contract shows it covers 1. There's a whole list that I'll give you here that are in complete conflict with one another. So I'm just wondering if the county has more equipment than what's listed, what systems are covered, what aren't covered, and it also said in there that the equipment needs to be less than 3 years old. And I do know for a fact from being here that the server was 9 years old. Most of the Wi-Fi equipment's 5 years old, and out of security updates and so on. So that just brings up the question, you know, what is covered, what's not covered, and so on. So, if the bidders were asked to price countywide IT support, but the final contract only covers a smaller scope, were all 4 bidders allowed to bid on the changes or a changed RFP? And if the goal was to stop overage surprises, then how is the contract guaranteed that?
Okay, so you had a lot of questions in there. I don't know that I'll remember all of them.
Right,
The
right.
contract-specific questions,
Yeah,
I'd have to look at
exactly.
that.
I knew that'd be a problem. That's why I went ahead and
Yeah,
printed it out for you.
but just so we're clear, for the public, you were one of the companies that bid.
Yes.
And Telenet had been here
Yes.
for a while. This, and you're right, I think there were 2 companies that our IT committee looked at. It was myself, Amanda, and then we have an on-site IT guy that you're aware of that we rely on. So we looked at the 2 lowest, and you were one of the highest. So we started there first and then started leaning into our IT person's expertise. So that's how we got to that point. In terms of any hidden cost, I think they do still have after-hours costs that are tied, emergency type language in their contract.
Yes.
But what they didn't have and what we were dealing with was overages that it was very hard for the county to tell what was what, how long does it take to work on things. So it eliminates a lot of that, but still builds in for really any company. You know, if there's a major disaster and I have to come in on a Sunday, they should be compensated for that. But
Oh, I agree.
the reality of that happening is it's going to be case by case and still need approval. But yeah, more than happy to look at your documentation, Jeff,
guess
to
what
see where we're at there.
It's not the decision that was made, but the transparency in how it was made by ruling out 2 bids that didn't even get a chance to see what was covered, what wasn't covered, and then the final fact that what was asked for is not what is covered in the final contract.
I understand your question.
So,
Yeah.
is there any information on that, any insight on that?
So I fully expect, because you're aware when you were here, a lot of people left your services and went to another vendor. So I think we'll probably
With
end up,
intervention.
I think we'll end up seeing some of the office holders asked to come back under the county contract, which could increase on this contract, but decrease on that contract. So I think we're working through it the best we can, Jeff.
So there's actually no information regarding the difference between the 2.
I mean, everybody did walkthroughs. Everybody had the opportunity to walkthroughs with our IT person, with Eric. So that's, if you have documentation you want to show me,
Oh, yes.
by all means, that's fair.
Yeah. Let's see. Anything else on the last page here? Let me get back to that, please.
And have we received control of our Ubiquity controller yet?
Not to my knowledge that they have gotten complete control yet. I haven't spoke to them in a couple of days about it though.
Okay.
They've sent, well, I'm not here to speak to that. I can talk about that another time in another public forum if you'd like to, but I'm not going to do their job for them. Let's see. Okay, one of my questions was, did all 4 bids receive equal review? You answered that one. Is there any possible way I can get any score sheets or rankings rather than just a recommendation of only 2 of the 4 bids? And,
What we received were recommendations from the committee.
I'm sorry.
What we received were recommendations from the committee.
Okay, I asked for public records from the committee and it was.
You received the recommendations that we received?
I asked for public information regarding committee notes, information, all that. I received nothing from that either. And was told there was nothing. Would there be any notes or any information from the committee that
it's a conversation, but you did receive the recommendations, though. I just want to be clear that you received the recommendations that we took action on.
I saw an opinion on 2 companies.
Okay.
So that doesn't show that all 4 were, of course, had score sheets or rankings that were fairly looked at. So that's all I have for that. I'll give you a copy of all the notes. And I have one other question. This is for Mr. Malt. Mr. Malt, online I've asked several times if there are 3 things you could name in the past that you've done to help the county out. And I'm not here to dispute that now. You've had plenty of chance to answer me in public forum. However, what I would like to know is it okay for you to have public employees to call me on county time, or not call me, but get in touch with me on county time using county resources to talk to me about your election campaign? I've looked that up on the ORC, and there's quite a few issues that brings up. Just makes it very questionable.
At the time, it wasn't in reference to a campaign. I've known you since before we even went into kindergarten. I was just letting you know you could reach out to me and talk to me about whatever you wanted to, like you're doing today.
Well, if you follow the trail, it does go back to what you said online. So I'll just leave it at that. But that is something that you might want to check with the Ethics Committee on, see if that would be appropriate to do. All right, thanks, gentlemen.
Thanks for showing up, Jeff. Any additional comments, items on agenda, off agenda? Anything online? Nothing? I see you reading through. Trying to read through. Okay.
Yeah, it's just, there is one question about curbs, but I think they're speaking city about fixing curbs, sidewalks, responsibility of the homeowners to maintain and repair. You guys do the streets and curbs. We don't do curbs.
So the only time, and once again, that's an engineer, so if I screw this up, I'll plead ignorance. The only time we touch curbs is if we're repaving, resurfacing something, and it requires the curbs to be done as well, or if it's a danger to traffic. I don't know how often he touches curbs. We don't have a ton of curbs in the county. That might be a city conversation. You said sidewalks. That is at the owner's responsibility to maintain the sidewalks outside their properties. I know at times the city has tried to have different programs to make doing sidewalk repair cheaper, but in terms of sidewalks, that's at the discretion of the owner. That's all you got? Okay. All right. Commissioner Malt, do you have any closing comments?
Yes, I would like to thank the folks from Louisiana, Bruce Mitchell, and another gentleman named Johnny Casanova that came up here to Scioto County and brought food and cooked for us. And Bruce was at the trial derby, and Johnny stopped by here in the county and visited with us. And I'd like to thank them for coming up from Louisiana and sharing the Louisiana culture with Scioto County.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Smith.
As Commissioner Malt said, I'd like to say that the trout derby was I think a success. I mean, you had especially, you know, we put money into making sure that they had the fish at the True Lure Trout Derby, and I know that Mr. Harrison's here. He worked hard on that, and he had a crew out there to help put up tents and do things. He did a yeoman's job of doing that, and he was out there the whole time, and I was out there and worked with the kids, and seeing the look on those kids' face when they catch fish, and it made the whole. I could care less about being a county commissioner or campaigns or anything else to look at those kids' face and what they saw in doing that. So I'd like to congratulate them on that, and I also went up to the JC's Trout Derby while I was out there, and they had it going on, had a big crowd there, so happy to see that continuing. I remember going to that when I was a child, and it's been a long time ago because I'm pretty old. So, but that was great. And also I'd like to say they have Saturday, Main Street Portsmouth, Friends of Portsmouth have an event going on, Raise for the Roses, and they're trying to raise some money to do the things that they do around Portsmouth, and that will be, I think, at 3 o'clock at the Martins Building, and they were selling tickets. I don't know that they still have tickets. I assume they do, but they may not. You may be sold out. You may have missed that opportunity, but that'll be going on Saturday, so remember that, and remember to vote. We're coming up, we're at the end of this thing, at the end of this campaign. We're down to the voting, in-person voting is Tuesday, and you could still vote in person here at the courthouse up until Sunday. And Sunday evening, they'll have long hours. I'm not exactly sure, 7 o'clock, is that when they get out of here on Sunday?
Oh, I don't have
I
that
don't
memorized.
know what the hours for sure are, but you can come in and vote in person here in the courthouse, and make sure you do that. I said in an interview with Bill that it's one of the greatest privileges we have in this country, to be able to show up and cast our vote. And there's a lot of times people say, well, that one vote doesn't matter, but it does matter. It matters immensely. So everyone that can show up and vote, please get out and vote so that we have a good showing of the people and show your interest in making sure that the government works the way it's supposed to.
All right, thank you for that. A couple things. I'll echo both these gentlemen. Trout Derby, fantastic. Named in honor of Commissioner Coleman, and I know she would have been very proud of how it turned out. Weather was beautiful, and as you all have said, a ton of smiling faces. So great job to Todd Dunn and the crew there. Also had the opportunity to go to Shawnee State's President's Gala, celebrating 40 years of Shawnee State's positive impact in our community. And excited to see under President Braun's leadership what the next 40 could look like. We know the East End is going to look drastically different with the football, but also the remodeling of the ball fields, the addition of a softball field, field houses. There's a lot of donors and funding going into that project that's going to really revitalize the East End. And not only that, but all the extra programmings and going after and expanding healthcare services. And I know they've been very engaged with even the local developments and workforce development for the Pike County projects, the Google projects. Speaking of Google, we will be, I don't think they have it ready yet. There is going to be a website that goes up that shows some of the development there in Franklin Furnace. And they'll be asking for feedback regarding just whatever the community wants to provide feedback on regarding the development. Traffic flow, they'll have some renderings of what it looks like and how it's going to look out there in Franklin Furnace and kind of the impact there. And then they're scheduling an open house, I believe it's May 14th. Don't hold me to that in case it changes, but they do want to engage with the community and get open, and people can talk to the developers and talk to the engineers and understand what is going on up there directly from them, so you don't got to trust these politicians sitting behind the table. You can actually go hear it from the developers themselves. So excited about that partnership. And then the last update, I'm currently doing interviews, I think all day today, for an economic development director. So Scioto County Development Corporation is interviewing. We have some very qualified candidates, and I'm excited to see who could be leading the economic development drive, because it's critical. We've never seen opportunity like this in our region. And so we have to get this right. And while there's stuff happening in Piketon, that ripple effect is going to land directly in our laps. We provide more employees to that site than any of the other 4 counties, and I expect that to continue. So we are still very much moving forward with the development group, and very soon we'll have a captain at the helm. So Bill, I know you ask us about that often, so hopefully we'll be able to make an announcement in the next couple weeks regarding a development director. That's all I have, because I have a 10 o'clock interview that I'm late for. So if there's no other comments or questions, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And I will second.
Mr. Smith?
Aye.
Mr. Malt?
Aye.
Mr. Powell?
Aye. Thank you, everybody. Have a great weekend.